Like I was told, don't do, films with Shah Rukh, Salman. Be in a, because we had done so much work where I was heading everything. Once you lead, you always want to lead. I'm not going to wear an uncomfortable dress in a party because I have to look hot. I mean, I have been told your lips are too small, you're this, do that. I've been told all that, but I don't care. We are sort of made to think that we are all the same. No matter whether you don't do a lip job, you don't do an eyebrow lift, or you don't do the things that everyone is doing to look the same, but even then you will be put in the same box. And I can't tell you how much it boils my blood. I hate it. I find it the most lazy. Just limit women to what they wear, what makeup they do, what hair they do. I mean, I also do it, but I do it for my joy. It's not as bad as, we think pap culture is, but yeah, it's still invasion of privacy for the superstars of our country. They do face that a lot. They're outside, covering little babies is not cool. That place, I'll tell you, it was a room I think as big as this, and there were clothes everywhere. And apparently those clothes were from all the films ever made. Exactly. What would you feel as a film buff? You would be like. And then Manish came in and he gave me a scene. What scene was it? It was a scene from DDLJ. And I'm like, Manish, I'm supposed to act this? I know this scene by heart. It was the scene where Shah Rukh asks Kajol that you're going and तुम शादी कर लोगी किसी से, वो वाला scene था. I was like, मुझे पूरा scene याद है, मैं कैसे करूँगी इसकी acting?
Hello and welcome to Bollywood Bubble. I am Akriti Bagla and today I am in conversation with Riddhi Dogra, who have truly proved you can dream and achieve anything and everything with your hard work. Hi Riddhi, hello and welcome to Bollywood Bubble.
Thank you. I'm so happy to hear what you said. Thank you so much.
But I think that has been your journey, You have always been that dreamer. But were you always like that?
I think so. I think I was always someone who was in my own mind, in my own world. I felt more at home in my own world than in the real world. I think that's why I always enjoyed performing arts, dancing. Yeah, I think so.
But the show you recently did, Kul, I think it's all about the fight for power, right, Riddhi?
Yes.
And today, if I tell you, okay, you have a power, what would you do differently in your journey if you had the power to maybe change something or go back and rectify something? What would it be?
Wow. If I had the power to do anything?
Yeah, to change anything in your...
To change anything? I would... what would I change?
Or do differently maybe.
Right, okay. I think I would just make everything I did super hit and become a sweetheart of the country.
But I think with the roles and the kind of projects that are coming, you already are, right?
Bas, thank you so much. यही सुनना चाहती थी मैं.
But do you feel, Riddhi, in today's time, audience validation, maybe the kind of love, response you get, as actor, does it matter? Like, how much does it matter to you?
That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that matters. An audience is the only thing that matters. So, yeah, that's like, I mean, we talk a lot about validation. We talk a lot about why are we actors or why do I do what I do. But I wouldn't be able to do anything if I didn't have an audience.
True.
I wouldn't. Like, anybody who's doing anything creative needs somebody to say, yay, we're rooting for you.
True. But you have seen the industry from behind the camera also. I think your journey is known कि okay, you were in a channel earlier. आपने कहीं ना भी पीछे से भी वो industry देखी है, right? What has been the hardest pill of this industry you have followed? From behind the cameras when you were.
What has been the
hardest pill about this industry you have followed when you were behind the camera?
I think that everything is meaningless until you give it meaning.
Okay.
That is like the hard, I mean, it's not a hard pill. I've honestly not had many hard pills to swallow vis-a-vis my career. I may have had some personally, but not professionally, because I don't take everything so seriously. I'm here to work and I want to do it in a matter of excellence. I do. So I am obsessed with that whatever I do, it has to be a certain way. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I have to make like I don't want to leave any stone unturned in doing anything that I'm doing. But a hard pill to swallow, I think, would be that people can, like, I mean, there's a lot of, like the external validation.
True.
So that is, I think, what I struggle with. And I think also the fact that, we have to go past this whole world within the industry to be something. But actually, it should just be between me and my audience.
True.
Because, they watch us and they love us. Like, there are people who are theatre veterans and they have an audience and they don't have a middleman who's sort of coming in between and deciding, I put you in this box and you are this, you are that. So I think that's really one thing that I think I mean, the minute the business heads of the industry put any one of us in a box, it's limiting the very thing which is not supposed to be limited.
Exactly.
Creativity should not be limited.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
But have you ever been at that phase where you felt like, okay, I'm being boxed, or maybe I'm not being able to given the opportunity, maybe I deserve it?
I think I'm still boxed because I'll tell you why. I think what I have within me to give is very unique.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I'm an actor and there are millions of actors in this country alone.
True.
So that, of course, I'm not saying that I'm a great actor. I'm saying that there are some things which I can do and I don't think I have got the full opportunity to do that, but I'm not taking away from the opportunities I've got. I'm very grateful for them. But I definitely feel that maybe, there is a box where we are sort of made to think that we are all the same.
Yeah, it's true.
No matter whether you don't do a lip job, you don't do an eyebrow lift, or you don't do the things that everyone is doing to look the same, but even then you will be put in the same box.
True.
Which is something that I think currently I'm struggling with, because I am not struggling with it, like it's not my struggle, but it's something I see. I recognize that okay, this is there, it's like you're an actor, okay, you're put in a box with 10 other people.
Yeah.
And I am not interested in that. Like, I don't want to be, I mean, I'm okay to just stand out and stand apart and all of that. So yeah, that's something that I'm sort of seeing that, acha, ye to hota hai. Like, with or without you being anything or saying anything, you're put in a box, and I just want to, like, sort of
break it.
Yeah, I want to break it. Like, I want to break that with my own actions. So words don't matter, actions matter.
But right now you mentioned, okay, about the lip job or maybe getting certain corrections.
Eyebrow lift, it's very big right now.
Eyebrow lift.
Everyone's doing it.
But I wanted to get this much later. But even in Kul, if we see na first episode, how your brother is like, oh, go get your liposuction done. Go.
So mean. Amol was very mean to me in the show. I was so personally. I mean, we're not doing interviews together, but I had thought of this, that I will definitely talk about it. He was in character, okay? So he didn't talk to me at all because he hates my character.
Angst,
he hates my character, and it really helped. Because he was, even during the shoot, he was just always with Nimrit. Okay, because of which I could not hang with Nimrit. Because when I would go, they would just be aapas mein. And I would tell my director, why are they not talking to me? Like, why is this happening? And now my director's like, now do you get it? Like, after you watch the show, because it adds, it added to it. I was actually scared. I mean, शो में बहुत effortless लग रहा है इसलिए समझ में नहीं आ रहा, but there were moments in the scenes that we shot where I was scared to go up to Amol. Like, he's doing something, his character is doing something crazy, and maybe I want to hold him and say, don't do this. But he had created such an energy field with me. Like, he's like, yo, do this, do that. He was so violent with his, like, remarks to me. I was like, मैं इसके पास जाऊंगी, ये तो मुझे उड़ा देगा. Like, he'll just be like, eh. So I like, it was like my character just stayed away from Amol's character, which I think is brilliant. And I remember when we finished shoot, then he finally spoke to me. It's not like he never spoke to me, but
I know about that.
He was not friendly. And I had met him before at, a friend's house party, and I was like, he was very nice to me. What happened to him? What's going on? So towards the end of the shoot, then he opened up and he's like, "Oh guys, finally I can talk to all of you." And I was just doing this for the character.
Yeah. But Riddhi, coming back to that point, I want to ask you: have you ever been judged on the basis of your physical appearance, or maybe said such mean things in your career?
I don't care. I must have been, but I think also I'll tell you what, I didn't put myself up for some sort of an objectification ever.
Yeah.
So I think when you don't do that, people don't really. I don't think I have faced this problem of people talking about my body or this or that. But I do feel like, I mean, it's a very different thing. But I've not really experienced this
Yeah.
thing. It's not happened to me. Maybe it's not reached my ears or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I have been told your lips are too small, you're this, do that. I've been told all that, but I don't care.
Yeah.
So when you don't care, then it's going to stop. Like if you tell me,
Yeah.
you're very fat, I'll say, okay, what are you going to say? But if I say, what, why are you saying that? Tell me,
Yeah.
what do you think? Why you? Then it'll just keep going on. But if you tell me you're ugly, and I'll say, okay.
Yeah.
So I have not really cared.
Do you also feel there is this unnecessary beauty pressure on actresses? Because if we see your filmography, right, you have per se not done those glamorous roles, but yet meaningful and powerful roles, right? And yet you are able to make your mark, Riddhi, right? Do you feel that people unnecessarily put that beauty pressure?
It's a conditioning. It's not really a pressure anyone's putting on anyone. I don't think I've done, I mean, you were saying kindly that I've done glamorous roles. I think I've done very...
You have not done. I think
I've
you have not done. You have
Exactly.
done powerful and meaningful
Exactly.
roles.
I've tried to play real women.
Exactly, and medium.
Always. Of course, I've made her look beautiful. I've tried my best to not make her look like... So it's a personal endeavor again. When I started with my career and the moment I sort of figured कि मुझे यही करना है, which was 3 years into when I started, I made a mental sort of note that okay, if I'm doing this has to be two ways. It can't just be that I'm making my money and people come up to me, compliment me, and I say thank you, and I can't be so full of myself. I'm not that person. What is the least I can do? So I said, you know what? I want to represent real women. So if tomorrow someone looks at me in a film, they should not feel like, oh, ऐसा थोड़ी होता है, ये तो फिल्मों में ही होता है.
True.
That's it. That was my thing when I was starting, and I think it's still my thing because that thing is not going away. We are still objectifying women. We are still looking at what they wear, and I can't tell you how much it boils my blood. I hate it. I find it the most lazy to just limit women to what they wear, what makeup they do, what hair they do. I find it... I mean, I also do it, but I do it for my joy. But I'm not going to wear an uncomfortable dress in a party because I have to look hot.
Exactly.
I don't want to do it. I'm not going to stand in front of a whole team and be like, which I know people do, and it's all conditioning. They maybe they feel like, oh, I am not comfortable, but they'll find fault in themselves that why have I put on weight, or why am I feeling like this, or whatever, heel is too big. Don't wear such clothes, man. Just be sexy in your mind. That's what I feel you should be. I think women should be hot in her mind.
Do you think also the social media and the paparazzi culture has a lot to, add on to that thing?
I think our paps are really sweet actually. If you compare it to the West, we are very sweet, loving, friendly, like family, almost like family paps. They actually will give information to your family. Acha, Riddhi yahan gayi hai. Oh, okay, good to know. Because the paps are so nice. We're all asking each other, how are you? You are okay? I am okay.
Banter goes on.
Yeah. So it's not as bad as, we think pap culture is. But yeah, it's still invasion of privacy for the superstars of our country. They do face that a lot. They're outside, covering little babies is not cool. But again, I feel like our paps are they are humans like us. They get it,
Yeah,
they don't know, but they could be, क्या कहते हैं उसको, incorrigible. They could be like, हम तो करेंगे, that's how it was in the West, when it became bad. They didn't care. They were like, we'll do it. But it's not like that over here, which is, thank God, that's a great thing. So while, of course, if there's social media, there's internet, you have content on your phone, by your fingertips. So there will be paps. ये तो होगा ही. This culture will come in. It's not like
Exactly.
yeah.
But if I also see your work, be it in television, be it in movies now, right? You have always been this opinionated person that if something is not aligned with your interest, maybe you say or no bluntly to not do that part, or maybe to not get in that zone, right? Has been opinionated and vocal for your choices acted against you?
No, not at all. It may have acted against the world because it must have made them uncomfortable, other people uncomfortable. But it's the most liberating thing I can do to myself.
Exactly.
As a person, you know, especially as a girl, as a woman. It's the most liberating thing because you know you're a girl. You know how hard it is to speak for yourself. You know how unwanted it is. Nobody wants you to speak for yourself. And if you like, so many times, you know, women speak for themselves and they immediately go into a sorry. They go into a sorry mode. They apologize. I'm very grateful that I don't know when this thing ticked inside me, but I was just always like, I think I come from a family where honestly, like my father's side of the family and my mother's side also, but my father's side, you know, they really respect the girls in the family.
Yeah.
And I think I grew up like that because I am just one. There are 10 like me in my family, across all ages, across different generations. I'm not the first one where I come from who is opinionated and, you know, who can talk. But I also know that with everything, you know, if you have freedom, with freedom comes responsibility.
Exactly.
So I don't take it lightly. I, you know, when I started working and I wanted to act, I was mindful that I have to do it responsibly. When I give my opinions, you know, for that matter, for a film or for anything on social media, and I'm trolled, I'm aware that I will speak with dignity.
Yeah.
I will not go crazy and I'll not get to that level. So yes, you pay a price for being opinionated as a girl, as a woman, but I don't think it's so bad. I feel like yes, women are so used to also being taken care of that ऐसा होता है ना कि if you give an opinion, you will get an equal reaction. You will not have like maybe like it's a man, okay? You say something, you give an opinion, and that person shows you the mirror. Then you should also have the balls to, or you should also have it in you to take it. You can't then suddenly go, oh, I'm a girl, don't talk to me like this.
Exactly.
So it's a two-way street, you know. That's why men don't, you know, like, I mean, you know, the society is such that women also prefer not to say anything because they don't want to be trolled or they don't want to be spoken badly. But yeah, I always try, like there are times when people have said really nasty things online and it does hurt because you feel like, why are you going in that zone? You know, I didn't say anything to you about, you know, these things. Why are we talking about this? But I think I am, you know, I have my sensibility enough to know it's okay that it's that person's journey. It's not about me. So, it's something that, like, it's a price you pay. You have to have that awareness if you want to be such a free-spirited person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, you know, apart from trolling, there is a very, you know, other side also that women are often quickly labeled and judged also, right, for the choices they make. Like when you did A Married Woman, say, the show was brilliant and the concept was brilliant, you know, in the times that it came, right? When you maybe played a mother to SRK in Jawan, right? But there noises around you who were like suggesting, Riddhi, ye mat karo, or maybe people were giving you like freaky advices, ki, okay, what you should do, you should not do.
Yeah, I've got advices from many people throughout.
Yeah.
First, the people said, don't get into acting.
Yeah.
You know, like my friends who, you know, I mean, that time I was, you know, we just come out of college. So we're all like cool people who are young and want to do cool stuff, cool jobs. So everyone was like, why are you doing TV? You know, everyone was like that because you know how it is. When you're young, you don't want to be watching serials and all of that, right? So you want to watch other things, you want to watch new music and you want to be at concerts and you want to do fun things and cool things. So yeah, that did happen with me from the beginning. But I knew what I'm doing, and I think very early on I figured, I think I was in college. I remember when I had this huge revelation in my mind that my life, my circumstances, my choices are mine alone. I know where I come from, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and why I need to do what I need to do. So, how can anybody else know better than me? So, I think that has sort of like it's been with me through everything.
Exactly.
You know, when people say, don't do this, don't do that, I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Like I was told, don't do, films with Shah Rukh, Salman, be in a, because, we had done so much work where I was heading everything, so you feel like you always want to be on a set like that. Ask any superstar, would they be able to do? They won't. They always want to lead. Once you lead, you always want to lead. So it's very difficult to bring yourself down, and I did that because I think somewhere I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to not just talk the talk. I wanted to walk the walk. I wanted
Exactly.
to, we all can say that no role is big or small, but I wanted to actually see if, okay, this is my time, this is what's happening in this time, this is this is what I'm getting. Should I do it or should I sit at home?
Exactly.
I was like, don't sit at home, go on set, make it something. So I've never really taken anybody's, I've taken advices, but that is if I'm seeking. Give me your advice if I'm asking for it. Don't give me free advice, because every way that you've thought of telling me don't do something, I've thought of it myself. I'm very critical.
But Riddhi, when you did Jawan and Tiger 3, I'm not asking about Shah Rukh Salman, but do you feel life came a full circle? Because I think in one of your interviews you mentioned you had auditioned or maybe, met Manish for the first time during Rab Ne Bana Di Jodi, or what is that incident?
Yes.
I think you were supposed to share the screen way back with Shah Rukh.
So I just aged myself. I think I just started acting.
Yeah.
And Rab Ne Bana Di Jodi. There was not Rab Ne Bana Di Jodi. It was just saying Yash Raj new film auditions happening, and it was in the paper. And I knew Manish. Like I didn't know anything about Manish other than he and I dance a lot at parties, house parties. That's all. He and I knew all the dance steps, and we were those two people. So I just called him and I said, I want to test for this. So he said, okay, come. I just started acting. And he tested me, and it was actually a great, I would say, a great sequence of events. It was a great moment in my life because it shaped the way I thought about many things after that. So it's overwhelming. You go to this big studio. I mean, I am a Yash Chopra fan. I'm
any film buff is.
Anyone who grew up in the 90s is.
Yeah.
He taught me how to dream. He taught me like how to cry, how to laugh, how to be happy, how to love. Everything was him and Shah Rukh. And so, first to go in that studio, to go there, then to go up to the place where, we are auditioning. So that place, I'll tell you, it was a room, I think, as big as this. And there were clothes everywhere. And apparently those clothes were from all the films ever made. Exactly. What would you feel? As a film buff, you would be like,
then and there.
Yes, exactly. And then Manish came in and he gave me a scene. What scene was it? It was a scene from DDLJ. And I'm like, Manish, I'm supposed to act this? I know this scene by heart.
Yeah.
I know the beat of that scene. And he's like, yeah, it was the scene where Shah Rukh asks Kajol that you're going and तुम शादी कर लोगी किसी से, वो वाला scene था. I was like, मुझे पूरा scene याद है, मैं कैसे करूँगी इसकी acting? And he's like, यही करना है अब, this is how he talks, यही करना है, अब करना है. I said, so of course I botched it clearly.
Yeah.
And so he called me after that and he's like, come to office. And I thought, okay, nahi mila mujhe, because he didn't give me a good news. He's calling me to office. So I go and he's like, so then he sat down with me and he's like, Riddhi, you're very good.
Yeah.
You're a good actor. Don't feel, don't feel dejected and don't stop doing what you're doing. And also he said, Aditya really liked you. And I was like,
another moment.
He said, yeah, he really liked you. And then he told me, he said, Riddhi, this industry is such, everybody is his own case study. So be your own case study. And that's it. That is what I have gone with. My career, That moment, I came out of that office, I met Manish, came out, I saw Aditya Chopra right in front of me, crossed him in slow motion, and went out of there, and it was plastered in my head. I am my own case study, you know. And I meet Manish now. I mean, when I met him, I told him, I said, you know, you told me one thing way back, you told me be your own case study. And his reply was, yeah, you also told me one thing, don't eat after 8 o'clock. I was like, what? He said, yeah, that's what I do. I said, okay, that's sound advice. But yeah.
But you know, talking about dejections and having that moments of low, right? When you work on a certain project and that is sort of unable to see the light of the day due to certain circumstances, right? Light of the day. As an artist, when you have worked so hard on it, does it feel bad?
Firstly, it's not in my hands. You know, situations are not in your hands, and I think what you're talking about is really, really sensitive. So I'd rather we not talk about it, because there are more pressing issues in that scenario right now in our country. And I think entertainment is really not what we should be discussing. You know, we just all hope for the best, and I just stand behind my country as a civilian. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, lastly, Riddhi, to wrap up, you have worked with like best of the names in Bollywood, and you have worked with a South director as well, right? With so much chatter going around both the industries, what is that one difference you noticed while working with directors from both
Oh
the
my God, don't ask me that. But I can't tell you the difference, because
maybe in creativity you can give the point of.
I can't tell you, like, that's what I'm saying. I can't tell you the difference, but I can tell you definitely what's amazing about, you know, Atlee. Chalo, I've worked only with Atlee, so I'll just say, I think they really, he has a whole team, and they stand with each other through thick and thin.
Yeah.
They are like a family.
Unity.
And also, they really are convinced about what they are making. I mean, that's what I felt on set during Jawan. That, like, when I saw the film and what I saw Atlee on set were two different things. The film is a genius, and Atlee was so bindas on set. He was so chilled out in a set which was probably full of thousands and thousands of people, huge, massive set. And he was like singing, chilling, talking to all of us, making sure we're all comfortable, like it's some big party.
True.
You know, but it was all in his mind. And his team knew exactly what he wanted. So I feel like it's two things. One is that he's that mad conviction ki I'm making this is it. And second is the team is like a, you know, it's like a protective field. Everyone's supporting each other. Everyone's protecting each other.
True. But you know, lastly, to wrap this up, what are your upcoming projects, and especially Asur pe kya update? Will there be more seasons?
So there are a lot of upcoming projects, but everything is all the season 2, season 3, everything is there, but everything is on talking and writing stage.
Yeah.
So I do have updates, but I can't be the one to talk about it till the teams don't.
Yeah. And waiting for those announcements, and
me too.
Looking forward to see more of you, Riddhi. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Riddhi Dogra, and you're watching me on Bollywood Bubble.